Today we are going to discuss intent class inside of our Android API. So it's a platform or a framework API intent.java. So mainly what I will say, I'm sure if you once you start an Android development, intent is the second API which you need to learn. So first most probably is always an activity class, and then as you start, okay, you want to move on a second screen or maybe start a background API service, you need to understand this intent. So in easiest words, we can say intent is more like a message passing from one component to another component, and it's a IPC. It's more like it's IPC means you can pass intent from one process to another process, and it's a parcelable object. And that's why most of the time when you ask to the OS, hey, run this, I am giving you some information, now you need to show the chooser to the user, and user is allowed to choose any application which they want. And by doing that, basically you are sending that information from your process towards to the kernel, and then kernel, so there is a I binder, or in between there is a interprocess communication. So intent is mainly is that message passing between the components of the OS, and that also help us to start new components, and mainly that contain, if I'm not wrong, four things: action, what do you want; category, choose that category specific; then flags, kind of the to tackle sometimes the stack, how you want to manage a stack, and there are many other flags, so you can do multiple things. And the fourth one is the extra, so you want to send some information, extra information with that, and that extra is a basically bundle. And I have a plan to create a separate video for the bundle API. So today we only focus on an intent, and there is also one more API, intent filter. That is also we will discuss in a separate video. So we will today focus only on this intent. So I already shared with you all this information which is explicit, implicit, and there are some examples. By the way, first we should check every time total number of lines. So this class contain 11,749 number of lines. Maybe not all of them are code, but yep, just like this, I think 600 lines, around 600 lines are only for documentation, but still it's a big number. So now we can start from here. So yeah, so this is a parcelable. Today's topic is not parcelable, but still I am going inside so we can review a little bit. So parcelable is an interface. What they are saying, interface for classes whose instances can be returned to and restored from a parcel. Parcel, what is parcel? So parcel is a class. What this will do, container for a message, data and object reference that can be sent through an I binder. A parcel can contain both. Okay, so the same thing. So basically, intent is a parcel, parcelable, because in according to the object oriented programming, is a means inheritance. So intent is a parcel, and parcel is a it's a container for a message, and it's you can move from between the interprocess communication. So I think that information is enough. Now we can move to the clonable. So clonable is, so this is not a Android specific API, it's a Java API, and if I'm not wrong, it's from start like JDK1. Yeah, so it's written also here, so JDK 1.0. And the confusing thing here is always for me, when every time when I saw something is a clonable, I always found, hey, there is no method, then what does this mean? It's an empty interface. And one day I found, okay, so basically object class has a one method which is called clone, and all of the Java objects always extends from that base class which is called object by default, like object.java. So this is the base class, and in this class this clone is here. Now anyone who any like third party or anyone who wants to give this feature to do a clone, shadow or deep, it depends, they need to implement that clonable interface. In case you are not implementing that but you are overriding this method, that will crash, and the reason is this. So like I learned something new, like why this method is not here, some kind of a fun clone, and then they are implementing here. So that is the one curious question. Maybe you can search more why they are doing in this way, because now they need to crash if you are not implementing. So basically, in case of an intent, by the way, it's clonable. It means intent dot clone should be here, and we will see later. Now there are some constants. Then there are actions extras. I think we can pass these, because if I'm not wrong, there are hundreds of actions and the flags, and we can try to move towards the implementations of the methods. So I will go directly here, intent. So hopefully these are all the constants. Yes, so we are now at intent. So we can make uh, an empty constructor. So yep, I used to make like intent equal to new intent, and then intent dot set flags or set or add category. Then there is one more copy constructor. So what does this mean? So you can give another intent to the intent, and that will do the copy. What does this copy means? So the new intent, everything which is available, that will be copied to the new intent, and this is a private basically method, a constructor, sorry. What is copy mode? Okay, so copy mode, so they are doing some stuff around the copy mode. If this one is not equal to this, then don't go inside of go inside and do flags, content user hint, some extra information should be copied. And you can see it's not a shallow copy, it's a deep copy. So they are creating a new intent, new selector, new bundle. And but how you will give this information, because this is a private, and every time when I will, so copy mode all, what does this mean? Zero. Mode all means if I give this, it means one, so it will go inside, and it will go inside also. Okay, so by default it will copy everything. Then clone filter. Okay, now they are giving that extra checks. So make a clone of any the part of the intent that are relevant for filter matching. Nice. So basically you can use this if you have some specific, you don't want some specific parts are copied in an intent. So if I give send this, then this will not pass and this will not go inside. Okay, we can move on. Then this one we mostly use. Okay, action, give an action, and this internally call a set action method. We will see later what is set action. Then also action URI. Then mostly we use this one. Yeah, package context, mostly we write in activity start new intent and this and the class name, which is called explicit intent. And then what this will do under the hood, it's saying okay, m component. So m component is a component name which has two things. So what is this class? Basically it's a small class, not a big class. It look like a kind of a container. So identify for specific application components. So it will save only that two information, package and class. It's parsable, it's clonable, it's comparable. Nice. So you can compare. So there should be compare implementation. And I think we can skip this. Otherwise we will be too far from our today's topic. So yeah, so that is the only kind of a container which will save your package name and class name, and then you can do some extra functionality with this. Then intent URI, make main activity. I never use this method. What is this one? Create an intent to launch the main root activity of a task. This is the intent that is started when the application is launched from home. Oh nice. So basically once we click then someone is calling this method, and that should be zygote who is calling this method. So navutil, what is navutil? Navutils provides helper functionality for application implementing recommended Android UI navigation pattern for information about. Okay, this one is new. um, so we go back, and then component name, who else, activity invoker, what is this? So okay, this is test, no need to read this. Then in case of an activity, there is a get parent activity intent which is called. Okay, for now only we are reading this, but can I try to call this? So this is, if I call intent dot main, make main, and then I need to create a, give the component name, and in that case what this will do, this will create a action main, then component main activity, add category launcher. Okay, and then it will run. Now it's a simple thing you can create on your own. So somehow someone is using this, but here I can see only this one task stack builder, which may do some special things, but I'm not going into this API. It's a separate API which can take a lot of time to understand. So coming back to the intent, next is make selector activity, same method, restart activity task. So make an intent that can be used to relaunch an application task in its base state. Nice. So how they implemented it, they are reusing the same method now, and now they are using the power of flags. Nice. So you can see. So again, creating the same activity which they have in a main activity, but now they are kind of clearing the flags. So they are saying, okay, add flags, this and this, and these two basically what this will do. This will create a new task, and this activity will be the root activity, and this will clear or remove all the previous activities from the task. So it's like a new child, or a new, like you started an application from zero. So that one, how they are reusing. Nice. And get intent, parse URI. So this one is parse URI internet. So the parse URI methods are always complex, so we can see. So first they are checking if the app is an Android app. I'm not sure what does that mean. Is it maybe the built-in apps which comes with the OS? Then what they do, flags, bitwise operation 0, then they're checking if it's not intent, then open this. I'm skipping this, but this is some kind of like, you can read and you can enjoy. There will be a lot of complexity, so you need to spend some extra time to understand what they are doing, what kind of URIs we can send. You can do Google, okay, or maybe if you ever passed a URI in your development, you can check how that will work inside of this. So it's still the same method. They are playing with the substring and decode, action, category, type, identifier, launch flags, package, component, scheme. Everything is in a URI, so they have all those checks. Some of them I used, some of them I never used in my career. Then this is, what is this? URI dot starts with S, put string key value. If it's B, okay, I never know this. They have some kind of check. So if it's a S dot, then it's a string. If it's a B dot, it's a boolean. B dot is a put byte. Okay, so this is new for me. So they have some kind of a check in. So in URI, I'm sending something S dot slash slash blah blah blah, and then they are putting here. And what is this? B is a bundle. Okay. Then move to next item because there is a while loop inside. Then after that, still the method is still same, and it's a pretty long method. Wow. And now we are at the end of this parse URI. What's next? Get intent old. This method, okay, last index. Again they are playing with the URI, so should be again the long method. Too many if checks. Yep. Launch flags, component, extras. Then what kind of checks they have? Okay, this is the same check which we saw. If this is S, then put string URI code value, doing the same work. Number format exception, and then this method is complete here. Interface, then they have parse command arguments. What is this? So at this point they are saying intent, new intent, base intent is an intent, the same intent. So they have now two references to the same intent. And then what they do, get next option command. I don't know what is shell command. Is it like when we are sending from the console? Maybe that is command. Hopefully that should be this, because this is a shell command. And yes, that is the same. So most of the time when we do testing, sometimes deep link, we send this information dash a. So we found that area how they are. So once we send that information from the console, somehow package manager is using this information, because package manager is responsible for this kind of work. Okay, it's not showing. We can check inside of a Android source code. So in case of an intent, we need to find intent and who is using this method. So intent, um, notification shell command. Okay, this is one. And package manager shell command. Okay, both are commands, sending the shell commands. We can check. So parse intent and user, and then they, so basically package manager shell command inside, they are calling that class is invoking this method, and then they are also doing some stuff inside of this, but I'm coming back on an intent class. So now we found today the new thing, how the intent, the command which we send, how they parse that. That is the method here. Nice. Hmm. So there are too much information. Nice. Dash and dash p. Okay, so we can send also the permissions. So once we send this permission inside a console, how they are checking and how they are putting here, now you can understand easily. That is nice. Then what they do, they complete everything, then they do base intent, selector intent equal to base intent, then they do null argument checking. Okay, and then in the end they are returning intent. Nice. Then it's a dump method or what? So print intent argument help. So if I'm not wrong, once we call on a console dash help, I think that is the same code which we saw, which we can see on a console. So yeah, you can go on your shell and you can give that command intent dash help, I think so, and you can see all this information. So that is now we found from where it's coming. So they have a lines, an array. So these are the lines, all lines in an array. Then what they do, okay, so they have a print writer, what is called, yeah, print writer. So it's coming from somewhere, and that is writing that on a console. Nice. Then we found one more thing. Then get action, these are all the getters method. uh, I think we can skip these are simply the internal fields, they are returning or null. Then resolve type, simply it's going inside and then checking get type. Content resolver, it's a separate class, but this one is also, I'm sure you guys are aware of this, you do a lot resolving of the activities or different things, so I'm skipping this part also. And we can move on. Identifier has category, how they check what is category. It's an array, should be array or set. So this is an array set, which makes sense. So basically if you try to do a duplication under the hood, it will never be a duplication because it's an array set. And so we have a category, we add category, and also we have a flags which we add flags. And what is flag? So m flag. Okay, so basically this is a string, that's why they have a set, but in case of a flag they are playing with the binary. And extra is a bundle, we already discussed this. Okay, we will come back to this later. First we will complete our category part. So where we are, uh, so we are at here, get string extra. So no, so resolve identifier has category, get categories, launch token, class loader, set class loader has extras. So this method I use a lot. So extra is not equal to null, and then check also contain key, then it always okay. Nice. So again extra is a bundle, and bundle is a different API, we will discuss in a separate video. But in intent, most of the things under the which we are sending as a put API, it's always saving in extra. Get boolean extra, so how they are implementing, m extra equal to null, then send the default value, otherwise go inside of a bundle. Nice. These are same methods, string. What's next? Still same. Maybe strip for history. Get flags. Okay, flag is only a one integer. We will check package name, get component, resource bound, resolve activities done. We already discussed. System service. You can give information. Then this is moving towards package manager, and we will discuss the package manager as a separate API video. Set action. So how we set the action? Action is there are multiple categories with one intent, but action is always one-to-one relationship, so that's why they have only one string. So every time when you do action set, it's a one information. In case of a set data, what they are doing, okay, data null, set data, set type. I forgot why we use type, the mime type. Okay, so if I have a URI, it means I'm also sending the type. Is it an image or audio or video? Then add category. Yes, so you can see if category is null, then it will create a new array set, and then after that start adding this categories. Same for the remove. If it's not null, then remove. And oh, this is a nice check. In most of the time in interviews, we forgot these kind of things, and that always give the bad, not a bad image, but somehow it's not good. You should understand everything. So in this case, it's a good learning. So once we are removing from this category, we are also checking if somehow in the end it's zero, return null, make null, so the GC can collect this from the memory. Then how much time we have? Put extra, so we can check. Yeah, so there are multiple methods. Put extra, I remember. So string name boolean, in this case what they are saying, okay, extra equal to null, then create a new bundle and then put this information and then return this. Oh, okay, I never know. Put extra always return the same intent. I think it's a simple API, it's never return anything. So most of the time in my career, when I use this, I always use put extra something something false, and I never expect this should return me the. So basically it's returning the same intent, it's a this, but I never know. I think it's void or unit. Okay, so all the put extra method return the same intent in which we are adding, because it's this, and this is a check. So there is a duplication. I can see everywhere they have a put extra method. This is the duplication. So they can create a private method if, and then that call everywhere. Maybe that is expensive at a OS level, so they decided to go with the lines, not the function call. I don't know, but to me it looked like a duplication. Yeah, and I'm not aware of the performance at this level, how to measure that. Then we can move all the put extra. Okay, once there is no bundle, and then we can also add parcelable, put parcelable array list. So the same implementation, overloaded methods, then put extras, then this replace extras. So in this case, completely replace the extra in the intent with the extra in the given intent. So basically my extras, the current intent and the given extras, if that is not equal to null, it will create a new bundle. So basically that will replace, and if not, then it's null, and then return this. Nice. Then remove extra, the same check. So check, and then now we can spend some time on a flags. So set flag means m flag equal to flag. So it means it always reset, kind of like previous values will be gone, because flag is a integer int. So every time, but when you call the add flag, then they are adding m flag with the or operation, which means they are playing here with the bits. So integer is a 32 bit. It means they can add maximum 0 to 31 values, and then remove flag. Okay, I think we can spend some time here if you I hope you guys are interested in a bitwise operator. So in this case, basically what happened when we have a, I don't think so I can add, okay I can add. So when I have a 32 bits, it means I can save 32 states at a position 1, then at position bit 2, then at position not bit 3, and in the end 32 or 31 if start 0. So basically in case of a binary, what I will say is 00001. So this is kind of 32 bits. Then I will say 00010, like a 30. So it's basically in our language it's 2, the base 10, and but in binary it's, so by doing this, what I can do, I can put all the ones at one place, and OR operation is always saying any value which you send, it will do OR. OR means if you are sending 1 at specific bit, it will automatically change to that one. Like for example, if I have in my flag, I already have all these 0 and someone send me the flag 1. So in that case, what I will do, I will take the OR with this flag 1, and OR is always do if there is any of the bit is 1, please update this value as 1. Same in this case, if I send the 2, in that case the same value it will change to, so I already have this as flag 1, my value is already like this because this one is already updated. Now user send me this information, so once I will get this information, the once this operation is executed, it will be now 0011 because this bit only play with this one, and this case this one will be still same because this 0 will do nothing because it's an OR operation. So if there is any 1, it will always be 1, and this is how they are playing with this. So it means the flags should be 32 values. So like you can check, oh yes, so you can see it's in the form of a hexa, but still it's 1. This should be 2, this should be 4, this should be 16 8, then 10. So 10 basically in hexa 10, in hexa we have until 9, then A B C D E F, and then the 16 is always 1 0. So 10 is basically for us is binary. Binary will be 16, and also in base 10 it's also 16. So how they are playing with this, nice. So you can play with this, you can understand this, all these values, and maximum they can go until 31, and I think this is the biggest value which they can use. Okay, now moving back to the method add flags. Now remove flags. So in case I want to remove, AND operation is pretty powerful. So what AND operation will do, and the NOT operation. So for example, the last scenario, my values are 1 1. Now user wants to remove this 2. So basically they send me the flag which has a value 00010. That is the flag which is given by the user, and that is our current M flag value. Now when I will do this operation, what will happen, I have 00011, user send me this information, and this is a tilde operator. It's called, I think, the unary. So mainly in bitwise, what this will do, this will change all these bits to reverse. So reverse means if it's 0 it will be 1, if it's 1 it will be 0. Now in that case, what will happen once I apply that to this, and we will apply later, first I'm applying this. In this case this will change to 1 1 1 0 and 1. Now we achieved this. Now we will apply this operator, AND operator. In case of an AND, you guys remember, if some both bits need to be 1, like same how we use logical operator, boolean operator, true true equal to true, true false is equal to false. So in this case the same. So once there is an AND operator, 0 1 will be 0, then next 0 1 will be 0 because we need both ones, then next 0 1 will be 0, then now 1 0 is 0. So basically now we are able to change according to the user or client wish, and in this case this will be 1 1 is 1. So by doing this we can play with the bitwise. You can spend more time, you can understand easily, but you need to do some paperwork. So going back to this, so this one is how they are saving the state. Why they are doing in this way? As per my knowledge, this save a lot of memory. Like otherwise you need to save some kind of a 32 objects, which are for example 4 byte multiplied by 32, it's a pretty big. In this case they have only integer 4 byte, and flags are also integers. So but still I think they are changing. We can check in also code how they are playing with this. So flags, so for example this flag, we can check. So who is using this? And what about this one? So we have this content intent. This one we already aware of. How they are using this is JSON. So there is a mapping. And what this mapping do? Okay, why stuck? So in def mapping.json file, and it look like it has some interesting information for us. So you can see, okay, so we can see all the flags are here. So I think so they are compiling, and after that from that integer, because it's an annotation, they are changing, and this value you can see all these values are available here in the form of uh, the power of 2. So this one is a bit 1, this one is a bit 2, this one is a bit 3. When the bit 3 is 1 is 4. So 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 1 2 8. So the same pattern is going on, but somehow in between they messed. But still the values are available. If you do sort by this, you can see all those, and in the end they have this negative value. So it means they are because integer by default is not a unsigned int. So to if you want to use the 32 bit, the last bit, then you need to put this value. Nice. Okay, coming back to intent again. I don't think so there is much we can read more, but we can go until end. ToString method they are implementing. They have their own toString and they are putting all the information. So this is good. Every time try to implement toString method. Then they have also dump, and dump method I always have too much. What is proto output stream? I don't know. Then to URI from flags, if you are giving me a flag and they are returning a URI. Okay, now this is the implementation of a parcelable. So describe contents, then after I write to parcel how they implemented. You can see all that information here. Nice. Then create a parcel, read from parcel. So for the IPC communication, then they also have parse intent. Parse the intent element from XML and say an intent object. XML means from where it's coming. Can we write intent? We can write intent filter in a manifest, but I don't. Yes, so is it from the manifest file? It's reading this parse intent resources XML pull parser. Who is calling this alias activity shortcut parser? I think this video is already too long, so maybe we can skip some parts and save to XML, restore from XML, prepare to leave process. So maybe you can read the remaining ones if you are interested. I hope you understand some of the parts, how I understand. So yep. So see you in the next video. Bye.